Warmdown Pod with Jose and Sasi.
The Warmdown Pod is brought to you by SW Strategies and Fight Zone and is recorded at 24A Am Siang Road. Trigger warning, this recording may include harsh words and we apologize in advance if you are offended.
Welcome to the first episode of the Warmdown Pod. I'm Jose Raymond, and with me I've got a special guest and who's going to be my co-producer. His name is Sasidharan Unnithan. Sasi, please introduce yourself.
Right. My name is Sasidharan Unnithan. I obviously am a fitness enthusiast. I have been in the fitness industry close to 24 years now. Currently, I actually own and run a business called Fight Zone, right? It's a 30-minute Muay Thai system where 30 minutes starts when you come in and you go through a HIIT workout for 30 minutes. That's what I am.
Well, and I am the founder and managing director of SW Strategies. It's a public affairs and public relations firm. And apart from that, people also know me as the founder and shade stirrer of TMS Gold, as it's been TMS Gold right now. So why are we doing this? Well, we've got to know each other 10 years ago, and then we have been friends the whole time. We've been working together on, watching Fight Zone grow. I mean, Sasi has seen me as a one-man show, and now, with the regional team. So we figured that this is time for us to come together and put our passion into a podcast, right? And I think that's exactly why we started doing this. And 3 areas we talk about: football, fitness, and maybe a little bit of funnies. And obviously, we also touch a little bit of sports. And we also decided maybe sometimes once in a while, we will also talk about our favorite EPL teams, how they're doing. And essentially, that's why we are doing this, right, Sasi? And why are you doing this?
Why am I doing this? Okay, I think Jose has been my friend for quite a while now, right? And we always have our banter, and we have jokingly said that we'll take this banter somewhere else, we'll do a podcast and all that. And finally, it's come to a time where we have decided that we're going to sit down and have a banter live and, actually record it down and see where it goes, right?
Yes, and we are doing it nice in our office at Ansiang when all my other colleagues are not around. And, so we have this entire office to ourselves. And if there's a bit of an echo, forgive us because we are doing it in Ansiang Hill and Sasi comes down here all the way from the north and we're doing this. So let's get right into it, all right?
Yeah.
I think 2027 January is the time we all of us football fans are looking forward to. It's not to when the next transfer window will be for the next season in the EPL, but it's the 2027 Asian Cup in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Now, tell me, how are you feeling about it?
I'm ecstatic actually. This Asian Cup, we fans have been. If you don't know the magnitude of it, I think the lay football fan might not know the magnitude of it. We have been trying for a very, very long while to get something significant, right? And the Asian Cup, which is all Asian countries qualifying for Asian Cup, and we are in it. It's our mini World Cup, our mini Euros, our thing to look forward to, regardless of whatever happens in the Asian Games. I am looking forward to it.
I think, first and foremost, it's historic, right?
Yeah.
We have constantly been slamming our association for not being able to take the team to the Asian Cup. We've watched Malaysia do it, we've watched Vietnam head to it, we've watched Indonesia, all of them have in some way or another either organized the Asian Cup or been to the Asian Cup.
Yeah.
Singapore's last time we took part was in 1984. Only then it was held in Singapore. We were the hosts, which is why it was held here. And actually, I do remember going for one of the games. If I'm not wrong, it was against Iran or Saudi Arabia, sorry. And I think we lost. But since then, we've not been able to get to the Asian Cup on by qualification. Even in the years when Radi Abramovich was the coach, when was the most successful period of our football, right, in the 2000s, right? So to me, I think that's very significant. But significance aside, I think the key question right now would be, how would our teams do, right? How would our team do? What would Gavin Lee do?
Yeah, Gavin the Brain, right? I have really taken a liking for him. I think he's been brilliant, and love the way our team plays football now. There were some coaches that I wasn't looking forward to watching Singapore play. But this time, Kevin has his predecessor Ogura started doing it the right way. Started reigniting that fire in the fans, and Kevin, I got to leave it to him. Whatever, when you support a coach, sometimes and it's a national team, you hope they do the right thing, and you hope they bring you something that you want to look for. I know that we're going to face the top Asian teams, right? I know results may not be favorable.
Mm-hmm.
What he does now, maybe he shores up the squad, maybe he
Yeah.
gets some local names, and he actually builds that team towards the qualification.
Yeah, but so are we resigned to the fact that we're going to get smashed by Iran and Japan and Korea and Uzbekistan and are we resigned to that fact that we probably get beaten? I mean, what would be a good result for Gavin? I mean, that's my question to you.
I think if he can not make one or two surprises, I think it would be ideal. I think if he can get the team to compete, get the team not to fear and just go. This World Cups, these Euros, you always have one underdog that goes, right? Goes at that famed team. If we can have a goal, regardless of whether we win or not. If we can hold the team together and actually play at a level where we can actually compete slightly, I'll be happy, man.
No, but you talk so interesting. You brought out this term. You use the word goal, right? So I want to bring it back now to our grandiose project, Goal 2034, which Minister Edwin Tong announced a couple of years ago, right? But I think at that point when he announced it, everyone, including me, were on his back, right? On how dumb it sounds, right? We can't even, win the SEA Games gold medal, and here we are talking about, going to the World Cup in 2034.
Yeah.
I think, in retrospect, I would put my hands up right now and say, maybe if he had said, let's take baby steps, right? First up, let's qualify for the Asian Cup, right? And from there, let's think about how we can actually go further, right? I think we had done that or said that. I think right now he would probably be the most talked about minister in cabinet, because he almost would seem like as though he had some level of a vision, right? So I think my question to you is, now that we have qualified for the Asian Cup, does it put more pressure on the administration to now think further, or really my question to you is 2034 World Cup really a pipe dream, or can it really happen?
2034, yeah, that's less than 10 years now, right?
Yeah.
Can it happen?
2 cycles away.
2 cycles away, yeah,
Because the World
exactly.
Cup's
2
happening in a
cycles
couple
away.
of months.
Yeah. I think my thought process, you were absolutely right. If he had said that let's do the Asian Cup first, although he didn't know that maybe we'll get a favorable draw, or maybe what if he had said that and we got really tough draw and we couldn't qualify? But that's really a step in the right direction, isn't it? He would have got it right. Oh, we did the Asian Cup. Next step is the World Cup. When you make goals like this, what the public wants to see is we are making steps together.
Yeah.
It might not happen that year, right? But if you make steps together and we are competing at a very different level to what we're competing now, everybody will be happy. We know we are on the right track.
Yeah, but you see, the thing is, we also look at evidence which is before us, right? And one of the biggest pieces of data and evidence is how badly we perform at the SEA Games. And now that I brought up the SEA Games,
yes,
right? We all know what happened recently at the recent SEA Games, right? The fact that we lost 3-1 to Timor-Leste, right? And to me, that's like, and it's not an aberration. It's not a one-off poor result. Actually, our SEA Games performances since 2015 have been abysmal. That's the word, abysmal. Okay, we've not even qualified for the semi-finals, let alone the finals, right? And we're losing to teams like Timor-Leste. Last SEA Games we lost to Malaysia like by 6-7-0, whatever it was, right? So we had used evidence at hand to kind of come to some level of conclusions, right? So
Okay, so my thought process is SEA Games is for the layman Singaporean. When you hear SEA Games, I wish we win the soccer goal, right? The football goal, right? So for me, especially, the SEA Games match against Timor Leste, I had my brother over. We were waiting to watch a game, right? My kids were excited. Singapore's playing in the SEA Games, and then
And Singapore scored first,
yeah, Singapore
right?
scored
And we
first.
thought, hey, this is gonna be cool.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it.
Oh gosh.
And then all hell broke loose,
Oh, hell broke loose.
right? Within the first half, what were we down 3-1?
Yeah, yeah. And then I have a lot of friends, a lot of my family that don't watch a lot of local football, right? They watch the EPL. They are football fans in your own right. But when it comes to local football, nobody wants to watch it. It's not worth it, right? So it was a bit sad for me that we are losing Timor Leste, and I think somebody asked me a question. You think Timor Leste use older people? That's why they read us. And then when I reflect, this is if I'm not wrong, it's under 23, right?
The SEA Games is under 23. Yes.
Yeah, under 23. And then I went back. I checked the age of our squad. 5 22-year-olds. And then you got another 5 17-year-olds. And then you got a bunch in between 19, 20, 21. And I'm like, oh gosh, how are we going to compete, right? Because at this age, you're adults, but you're not yet adults. Not everybody is going to be Mbappe, Kobe Mainu ready at 20.
Yep.
But so we went. I realized that, we went for the SEA Games. We were not going to compete. We were going to prepare the team for maybe the next one or the next one, right?
Yeah, but the next one, actually in 2027, Sport Singapore CEO Lim Teck Yin, a couple of years back when they announced Unleash the Raw, they made it a point to say that, at least a goal by 2027. So, Mike, are we going to get that goal in 2027 when we can't even beat Timor Leste now?
So that's the question here. Do we? Obviously, this squad was planned for the future. I would say, I would presume, if my football association was doing the right thing and this is the plan, this is obviously something that they are planning for the future. That means we did not go to the SEA Games to actually compete. I have to accept that, right? And then,
But okay, I'm one of those who, through 3MSG have been questioning why is it, football is sent when they can't even qualify, right? So
my God, TMSG.
I'm caught when I say that.
Yeah.
And obviously, all of us football fans want to see Singapore compete at the SEA Games, right?
Yeah.
And if a team doesn't go to the SEA Games, I think we'll also slam the Singapore National Olympic Council for not sending the team.
Yes.
Right? So I think they are
agree.
caught in a catch-22, right? They are caught between the devil and the deep blue sea. It's also partly our fault, right? But you see, it's so frustrating, don't you think?
Yeah.
It's so frustrating when there's so much of hope.
Yeah.
And then you see the team losing to Timor Leste.
The hope of a nation. My
You
God.
see the team, and then here we go. Okay, maybe am I being unfair to say that we should really at least invest in a qualified coach, for God's sake?
No, I don't know that I agree with you there, but at the end of the day, when you say qualified coach,
yes,
what do you mean qualified?
Somebody
What
who's
is that?
actually at least taken a youth team to some level of success at a youth tournament like the SEA Games, like Kim Pan-gon, like who else has won at the regional level? Peter With.
Yeah.
Okay,
So I'm going to ask you,
that's quality.
will someone of Kim Pan-gon's caliber or Peter Witt's caliber actually agree to take a bunch of 22, 21, 19, 17-year-olds to an under 23 tournament?
If they are paid well, and if they are given a chance to develop these group of players to become the national team of the future.
Yeah.
Isn't that what exactly the Indonesian national coach, the one who was also the coach who was very, very popular, who isn't it Shin Tae-yong, right? That's exactly what they did. He took the under 23s first, won the SEA Games, and then after that he continued with the national team, because that's how you develop the team. So I'm looking at current Young Lions team and Firdaus Qasim and thinking, are we seeing right now that Firdaus Qasim will be the national coach? since he's like leading this under 23 team, obviously he's got that in his mind.
Okay, yeah, but unfortunately, the coaching is a very coaching the national team is a very emotional thing because the whole country has to be behind you. So if you don't get the right results at under 23, who's going to be behind you when you lead the national team?
Absolutely right. So I think one of the reasons why the Football Association of Singapore may have decided on Gavin, because the results show he took the team to the Asian Cup, and that's probably one of the best ways to allow him that opportunity. Firstly, secondly, there was actually a flow of support for Gavin after the team qualified.
Yes.
And I think it was very hard for the FAS to have actually made any other choice.
Yeah.
Right? I was also looking at commentaries, which were published in local media that, prior to the team qualifying, basically after Forrest Lee became the president, obviously he's got tons and shitloads of money. There were commentaries saying that, he should bring in Jurgen Klopp and Jose Mourinho, and soon after Gavin actually led the team, that entire conversation shifted to give Gavin a chance.
Yeah.
Right? So I think there's a lot of emotion. You're right about the fact that emotion does play a bit of play a part in the decision making, right? Because football is emotional. The fact that we're sitting here on a work day recording this, right? Also, okay, why are we talking so much about young lions and Firdaus? Anyway, I let's move on and give a little bit of time to, I think, the women's game
league,
in Singapore, right?
Yeah.
The league started, the Women's Premier League started at the end of January. And already a few things which I've noticed, right? And firstly, they don't have their own website.
Yeah.
Right. WPL does not have its own website, unlike SPL. There's no, the updates on the social media for the results are loaded up on the Football Association's socials, not exactly on the same day, not even live. Right. So my point actually is, should we be paying a bit more attention to the women's game, because there's a lot of potential there?
Yeah. Gosh, I think the women's game has really grown in Singapore because one of my boys is a very active football player, and I've seen the amount of female the girls, right? Basically, parents bring them to play football, and it's a very encouraging sign. WPL not having its own website is a bit of a pain, because at the end of the day, you cannot let people think it's an extension of the Singapore Premier League. It's the Women's Premier League on its own, right? It has to be given its own character, its own ideology. There has to be kids in Singapore, girls that are playing football, thinking that I want to play professionally.
Yeah.
I want to play in the league. There has to be some kind of limelight that is great being athlete in Singapore.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And we also have Danielle Tan that's gone overseas and actually played football even for Dortmund, and now I think she's in Japan now. She should be in Japan.
So here's the thing, right? I completely agree with you on that, and let me give you a bit of an example of a women's sport in Singapore, which I think at least takes the effort to promote the league and even the players, which is netball, right? So, the Women's Netball League, right? It's done. They're not professional players, right? They are also, they're coming together, playing. But you see how Netball Singapore actually for many, many years, I think from the time when Ivy Singh was the president, they promote the league. They bring sponsors in. They used to have advertorials in the media, local media, promoting the league, and it's very, it's well watched, right? So why is it we can't take enough? Don't you think that that we should be paying a bit more attention? I think your answer is yes, right? Because so I think there's a lot of potential for us to grow the game, but obviously the point I think which FAS would make would be, but we cannot be focusing on so many things. But I think that
that is where the line is drawn, right?
But you are the association.
Yeah, you are the association.
You're supposed to develop women's game and so on. You cannot be talking about diversity and equal representation when you just completely disregard. They're not completely disregarding, but you don't put in the effort to grow the game.
I think there's so many pots to look at which pot do they look at first? That is the question that they are having on their minds right now.
Right.
But I think with the new team in place, a strategy should come about that, that somebody take care of the women's team. This is what I want done, right? We can't possibly have an actual women's league. And I think I was looking at the awards night. Somebody I know who's a friend of mine won the Coach of the Year. Great guy, these people are putting their passion into the game and trying to develop they will, because of how the women's game is not growing enough, the careers of the coaches and the team managers are also not going to grow enough, right? It's a whole infrastructure that they've got to build in support in terms of social media, website, getting these girls actually recognized, somebody has to recognize the female football professional player when she walks on the street, right? Yeah, so I think the steps have to be put in place, definitely. It has to be, you have to look at it as another private entity.
Yeah, I guess it's a work in progress, for women's football in Singapore as well. But, here's where how I look at it is this. In the region, 25 years ago, I think we probably had the best opportunity to start raising the profile of our women's football in Singapore.
Yeah.
We've got schools wanting to play. We've got kids wanting to play. Girls were involved in football. In fact, like I think I told you, right, Singapore actually had sent a women's team to the SEA Games in 1985. 85.
I was not aware.
We already have a history of women football. 1995 was another women's team, and I remember all of this because we've done research into it. But in this region, Philippines and Thailand have already qualified for the Women's World Cup.
Yeah.
Right? And they started developing the women's game after us.
Yeah.
Right? So my point is this, we probably lost out without realizing that maybe we should have at least focused and given some attention to the women's game. But here's the thing. It's not too late. It's never too late, right? And I hope that, they actually do make some plans to at least push the women's game forward. Find more opportunities for the girls.
There also has to be interest because when I was at the Gautier Youth World Cup a couple of years back, there was a female Filipino team that was winning. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know whether it was run by a private individual or he obviously had the best players in the country and he was bringing them to the Gautier Youth World Cup. Right? And it was amazing to see them play because they were winning everyone. I think they won the age group set championship that year. And for this interest to happen, there has to be growth in the women's game, right? And we have definitely fallen behind. And we are obviously definitely fallen behind in the men's game, right? I think the women's game, if we don't pick it up, we will fall further behind. People will go a lot more forward.
Absolutely agree. And anyway, so enough about football for our first episode. Let's come to a subject matter which is kind of like closer to your heart. Well, close to mine too, but not as much as you. So what's happening in the world of fitness now?
World of fitness.
Tell us about what's it going? What's our latest trends? Is there something we should be talking about?
Latest trend is obviously pickleball and the sounds that the pickleball makes.
Actually, you're right.
So, I have to admit, right?
I make fun of the paddle guys of TMS Go all the time, right? Because they're all like dressing up and like what is going on?
It's a social activity.
Yeah, but Nike's got involved, which means it's big, right? They're really going to be commercializing that part of it because there's so much of interest. Right?
So, in the fitness scene, let's talk about fitness clubs. For me, my perspective is the entire nation has taken into a fitness regime, right? People, I realize people I know, right, who never had fitness in their lives, who are mid-career, the millennials, the 40s to the 50s, right, have now taken into fitness because they want to be fit as they age. Right? So that's the main group. And if you look at the fitness businesses that started up pre-COVID, after COVID, there are a lot of small brand gyms that come up. And when you're a small brand gym, you can't charge half the price of a big box gym.
Yeah.
Because you have rent, you have utilities, you have everything to pay. And so actually, people are paying premium rates.
Right.
People are actually paying premium rates to smaller boutique gyms that are popping up, getting a bit more personalized service because they care about their fitness.
Yeah.
Right, and that's the trend that I've seen right now with my brand Fight Zone, right? BFT, we have Revel coming up. We have a lot of spin studios that opened across the past 4 or 5 years. So there is a market for individuals that that are in this age group that want to pay a bit more money and actually keep fit. There is also a trend that people want to be part of a tribe.
Right.
That I'm doing this with a group of people. I want to feel good doing it. I want to meet new people doing it. And that's also the pickleball trend right now. I realize that people meet new people all the time when it comes to this pickleball scene. So I think the trends of fitness are going towards that way.
Okay. No, great insights. I mean, we'll keep this conversation about fitness going in all our episodes. So, and I think, we've come to the end of today's episode, and Sasi, is great that, we're doing this together. I think hopefully we'll be able to bring a lot of insights into this podcast for our listeners. Yeah. And, again, let us remind everyone that it is only less than a year to go to the Asian Cup. And every single episode, we are going to be talking about something about the Asian Cup. And, looking forward to seeing you at our next episode.
The Warmdown Pod is brought to you by SW Strategies and Fight Zone. Tune in again next week for another episode.